Hello there everyone, it's Trooper7272 here again to bring you some Battlefront 2 speculation. Today I want to talk about weapons for classes in upcoming eras that we will see in the upcoming game. So without any further ado, let's get started with the Empire. The first class is the Assault class, which I have the standard E11 blaster rifle. The second is the Heavy class, which I have the DLT-19 blaster rifle for. This has already been confirmed in the poster art for Star Wars Battlefront 2. For the Specialist class, I have either the DLT-20A, which is like a modified pulse cannon for the Empire, or I've got the T-21B. For the Officer class, I decided to choose the SE-14C, which makes sense because it has an Imperial background, and we saw K2SO take it off of an Imperial officer in Rogue One. Moving on to the Rebels, for the Assault class I have the DH-17, for the Heavy class I have the A-280, not to be confused with the A-280CE, which is already in the current game for the Specialist class. For the Rebel Specialist class, I figured that the CR2, which is already in the game, is the select blaster for the Specialist class, seeing as it does come from a Naboo background, and it makes sense that throughout the course of the Galactic Civil War, the Naboo people would give their assistance to the rebellion. For the Rebel Officer, I honestly could not come up with anything. My first thought was the DH-17, but after careful consideration I decided to give that over to the Assault class, seeing as in the beginning of A New Hope we do see standard Rebel troopers mostly with the DH-17. Now moving on to the First Order, for the Assault class we have their standard F-11D, which makes perfect sense. For the Heavy class we already have a weapon in-game, which is the FWMB-10. Now seeing as we have not expanded on the First Order that much in the current canon, it was very hard to come up with a specialist weapon, but after doing some digging and looking up First Order weapons, I was able to find one for the Officer which mimics the Imperial Officer's weapon, the SE-44C, which is like a new and improved SE-14C. Now for the hardest faction whose weapons are to come up with, it's the Resistance. After doing some very extensive digging, I was only able to find 2 weapons even remotely used by Resistance fighters in The Force Awakens, seeing as we didn't really see their infantry do anything. For the Officer class, I was able to come up with the Glide 44, which is used by Poe Dameron. It is also the blaster that John Boyega revealed on his Instagram, which lights up when you pull the trigger. One of the more interesting things about this weapon is that it's actually named after Gobi Glide, and fans of the Clone Wars will know him as one of Cham Syndulla's freedom fighters, also seen later on Star Wars Rebels. I found this very interesting seeing as the weapon named after him is so far in the future, and it would make more sense for a weapon around the time of the Galactic Civil War to be named after him. For the Assault class, I have the EL-16HFE, which we see Poe use at the beginning of The Force Awakens against Kylo Ren. This is the weapon from which Kylo freezes the blaster bolt in midair. This was also seen with the Resistance Fighter action figure released shortly after the Force Awakens movie, making sense for it to be under the Assault class. Well, that's all for today everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, may the Force be with you.